Now, the RBI governor, like I said, just a few days ago, said that current events in the crypto world speak for themselves. I want you to take a look at what exactly he meant and why he said that. Here's what has happened in the crypto world in the last couple of months.
Cryptocurrency industry is staring at 2023 amid growing fraud concerns. From failed digital coin exchanges to online scams, the world witnessed a different crypto world in 2022. Several events in the recent past have sent a chill through an already anxious community. The collapse itself has been a red flag. The fall of FTX, one of the major crypto exchanges, has once again raised questions about sustainability. Sam Bankman-Fried, the founder of the failed crypto exchange platform, pleaded not guilty over fraud and conspiracy charges linked to his company's meltdown. Regulators in the United States, a country where cryptocurrency exchanges are legal, have issued warnings to banks about the risks of fraud, volatility, and poor risk management. Add to that the sudden collapse of two popular digital coins that caused $400 billion to be wiped from the value of Bitcoin and crypto ecosystem back in May last year. Bitcoin, often seen as a barometer for how the whole ecosystem is doing, saw a 70% fall from its November 2021 peak. The world is divided over crypto, and rightly so. Recent developments have left a huge hole in the industry, but many still believe that the cryptocurrency world is here to stay and a comeback is just a matter of time. So what's next for crypto universe? Is the future bleak, or is cryptocurrency the future?
Now, Kashif Raza, there are several concerns that are being raised by critics here in the country, by the RBI governor as well. He goes on to say that this perhaps is going to trigger the next financial crisis. He's listed out the reasons why it's concerning. Given what we've seen worldwide in the last few months, in the recent past, do you think that those concerns are completely off the mark?
Yeah, so first of all, when RBI governor said that, if we allow crypto or if we regulate crypto, this can lead to the next financial crisis, what he was actually referring to was the centralized financial institutions, CFI. Like you have banks in the traditional finance, you have financial institutions. In crypto, you have crypto exchanges. Now, he was actually referring to FTX, and he actually said that, you can see the example of FTX that is in front of us. But I'd give you a very good example of, in US, suppose if an exchange has to operate, they have to acquire the license in US. So FTX US is completely solvent, by the way. Now, like in the case of Japan, if you have to operate in Japan, you have to get a license in Japan. So FTX Japan is completely solvent. So here we get an idea that the countries that said, okay, if you want to operate here, you need to get a license. The citizens, the users of those countries were saved. In case of India, what happened? That the moment we came up with a higher taxation rate, 1% TDS, what happened that, somewhere we wanted to discourage this industry. We wanted to create entry barriers, and we wanted the people who are already using it to move out. But what happened here, that we created barriers and checkpoints at the entry level, but we didn't took care of the exit points. So what happened? The close to 17 lakh users from the Indian exchanges moved to foreign exchanges, including FTX, and there was close to $30,000 worth of trading volume has moved to foreign exchanges. So what happened? That foreign exchanges, without having an office here, without having a license in India, have close to second, third biggest market from India only, without doing anything from India. So they got the benefit, people moved out, and what we gained? Nothing. Because after the FTX fallout, users of US and Japan are safe, but the users who moved out from India to FTX, they have nowhere to go. So my point here is that we need to first of all, the government need to come up with a clear thought process that do they want to ban it, or do they want to discourage it? Even if they want to discourage it, they need to have comprehensive policy, because this isn't working right now, because all the benefit is going to the foreign exchanges. And I also like to add a point here that cryptos are basically not for payment only. Cryptos are used as commodity, they are stable coins, they are utility tokens, right? And they are used as securities as well. So the stable coin part and the payment part should be looked after by RBI. But I fail to understand that why SEBI is quiet on this matter. Because in US and developed nations, two departments are fighting with each other. One is the Commodity Futures Trading Commission in US, for example, and the SEC. SEC and CFTC are saying, I want to be the regulator. But in the country, here RBI is talking about crypto. Now, RBI is not an expert for securities. Securities is something that's a expertise body of SEBI. SEBI is the expert body to regulate securities. So when we talk about crypto as securities, crypto as commodity, and crypto as utility token, these three type of crypto should be regulated by SEBI. And SEBI should not be mum. SEBI should come up with a proposal, and RBI should look after the stable coins and the payment side of it. So, but unfortunately, SEBI has never came up with a proposal or never came up with a solution. But in other parts of the nation, in other developed countries, crypto is looked upon as commodities and securities, and there these SEC and CFTC, Commodity Futures Trading Commission, are actively taking role in that.
So we haven't been able to make that differentiation only as yet, and that's really the
It should come
first
forward.
part of the problem, Mr. Vivekananda. But as far as the payments part of this goes, there was a pilot that was launched as far as a centralized e-currency of the RBI was concerned. The CBDC was, the pilot was that came out just a short time ago. Do you think that's the first step of the government trying to test waters, perhaps, as far as how cryptocurrency would work, what the perils are, and what our safeguards against it could be? Has that served any purpose, or is that going to be counterproductive as far as regulation or recognition of private cryptocurrencies is concerned?
I think as Kashif mentioned, right, like CBDC is a digital currency which is a substitute to real currency which we already have. It's very unfortunate that even at the RBI level there's no clarity on, you are trying to trying to look at two different assets, whether it is money, which is cash, currency and stocks, and you are trying to find difference between them, or trying to look at both in the same lens, which is wrong. As Kashif mentioned, it's akin to securities. Cryptocurrencies are asset class, and it is akin to securities, and it has nothing to do with CBDC. CBDC is just a digital currency, and the use cases are completely different.
Right, so that was the government's way of showing perhaps that, this is something that we want to do, this is how we are going to foray into it, and that perhaps actually added to the confusion because anyway, this is a space which is very difficult to understand for many, given what we've been reading in headlines, what we've been seeing, what's been happening worldwide, that only is increasing the uncertainty, unfortunately, and which is why many believe that it is time for the government to actually come out and make it very, very clear as to what exactly they plan to do, if there is a plan at all, and if there is a timeline to do so. And Rahul, I want to get you in as well. Like Kashif was also pointing out, it's really not the RBI's domain perhaps to be talking of this. It's the SEBI really that needs to talk of it. Do you concur with that? Do you agree with that? And also the fact that time and again, the RBI governor has been coming out and pointing out the perils of such a system where he says the next financial crisis, could be triggered by this. He has vehemently said that according to us, according to me, in my opinion, crypto should be prohibited altogether. How do you look at that?
Yeah, sure. I understand the RBI's point of view. There's two parts here. One is, he's partially right in the sense that if there's no regulation, right, there's a lot of bad actors who will come in and who will kind of manipulate the system, right? And you'll see that both in regulated systems and unregulated systems. For example, I mean, even though let's say the banks were regulated back in the 2008 financial crisis, they were actually regulated banks, right? The crisis still happened. And here, even though, let's say, things were unregulated, things like this Terra Luna and some of these cryptocurrencies, which are almost scam-like, those happened in an unregulated market. What the reality of it really is that regulations are going to help, let's say, build structured finance type products. And so what I think will happen is this, is that you want to make sure you firewall, let's say, the traditional financial sector, what the RBI does, along with, let's say, a decentralized, let's say crypto assets.
Right. So clarity is very, very important, and that's something that is the expectation of the finance minister. Though many, like the former finance secretary, also believe that that's perhaps not what we are going to see. But, well, only if the finance minister will be able to tell us what exactly is in the offing, and we will find out in a few days from now when the budget is presented on the 1st of February. Hopes are high. Whether or not they are met or the crypto world is left wanting, we'll have to wait and watch for that. But I thank you all, gentlemen, for joining us here on this broadcast with your insights and your perspective. That brings us to the end of this edition of Budget Buzz. But don't forget to tune in every Friday at 6:30 p.m. for the next 2 weeks as we bring you the biggest build-up to Budget 2023 right here on CNN News 18. Thank you so much for watching.